So right now we're going to talk about something really important, which is the mental health. Now, mental health is a vital aspect of our overall well-being, and its impacts extend far beyond our minds. It influences our relationship, both physically, health, productivity, and daily functioning, among other areas. Now, despite its significance, mental health is often overlooked or stigmatized, leading to devastating consequences, especially in the country. So in this discussion, we will delve into the profound effects of mental health, exploring how it can affect every aspect and facet of our lives, from our personal relationships and physical health to our productivity and resilience. By examining these effects, of course, we hope to raise awareness, rescue stigma, or reduce stigma rather, and encourage individuals to prioritize their mental well-being, because that is something that definitely we do not get to see in the country. So let's talk about mental health. Do you know your mental health? Do you know your mental health status? One thing that we tend to see, we see behaviors in a child, in an adult or a teenager, and we start wondering, why can a human being do this? And mental health is not something that just comes one time. It definitely it starts to grow, and there are different aspects of mental health. Depression is one of them. It starts from there, and then before you know it, someone tends to do a decision of hurting themselves and even hurting other people. And this brings me back to a recent event that happened in Kano, where a young man decided to burn a mosque, because his cousins, or his uncles rather, his relations were there, and he said they were shoving some kind of decision down his throat, some part about inheritance, the other part about him being forced to marry a girl that he did not want. I mean, that kind of decision for you to decide, I want to get rid of all my kinsmen, it's something that you definitely wonder if somebody is, unstable up there. So we want to create awareness on all of this. So please go ahead, call us. Let's talk about mental health, because it is the World Mental Health Month, and we want to dissect and create more awareness on all of these things. So the number would be displayed on your TV screen that you'd be able to reach us. And also the first number is where you can get to send us WhatsApp message. Saturday is that time where you can send in your WhatsApp messages, and we can read, in case if you feel you don't want to call to talk, or maybe you're trying to reach us and there's a bit of traffic on the line. So you can go ahead, call us on this number. Let's hear your take on this. Now, mental health is something that it's really important. It's as important as the physical health, even though it seems we pay more attention to our physical health than the mental health. And everyone experience this kind of emotion, up and down, as we would call it, throughout life. So this is exactly what we'll be discussing: ways to recognize signs of mental health concerns, and explore resources for getting help. So let's hear your take. What do you know your mental health status? Please go ahead, call the number on your TV screen, and send us a message. Let's just hear what your deep understanding is of knowing mental health. Now, if you go to most of these developed countries, there is already a lot of awareness using coaches. That's the mental health coach that would definitely dissect situations, and people, for no reason, when they feel kind of down and need someone to talk to, and of course you get confidentiality, then you go to these people and they keep you secret. But then in Africa, there's something we do. We, especially in Nigeria, we don't assent to you going to talk to someone and we say, oh, you're talking to a stranger about your deepest secret. And we are also trained to be strong, so you cannot really confide in your own family about the same situation. So it's like a back and forth, a really heartbreaking situation where you just turn back and forth and you don't have anybody to confide in. Then you fall vulnerable to say people that might not really respect your own privacy. You fall vulnerable to friends or even foes that you're not aware of, and sharing your own opinion, because let's be honest, when you share your problem, it's like half solved, because you've gotten it out of your chest. And especially if you're talking to the right person that can, find solution and tell, what you're really worried about is not really that deep. I mean, there's always a solution for something. But mental health has led people to even suicidal decision. So this is why we definitely need to create awareness on all of this. All right, we have our first caller. Good morning. All right, we lost that call. Please go ahead, call us. Let's hear your take on your mental health. Do you know your mental health status, and what is your take on it? Good morning.
Hello, I'm Mr. Kideli. Good morning. I'm calling from Crossroads State. I think the topic of the day is, do you know your mental health status?
Yes, it is. Thank you for joining us. Please talk to us through your phone. Go ahead with your take.
Okay, what I want to say now about mental health. Mental health is multidimensional. It is multifaceted. Mental health has affected the country and individual and even organization.
So do you know your own mental health status at this point?
Mental health is a state of not being sound in health mentally. That is being mad.
No, it's not being mad. Come on now, it's not being mad.
Not being healthy mentally, that is your brain.
Yeah.
Cerebral malfunctions.
I mean, the practitioners will not really go, deep dive into it like that. And it's just like you said, it's multifaceted. So definitely somebody who has mental health issue, one of the things when they say the word mad, that is you literally stigmatizing people, and nobody would want to associate with someone who people are saying, calling mad. So mental health, like you said, has a different breakdown of things and situations. Like I mentioned earlier, there is depression. I mean, it starts small. You're sad. And one of the things that definitely leads to mental health breakdown is the fact that it starts with sadness. You want something, you yearn for something, you work for something, and it's not really working out for you. So before you know, it starts creeping in like depression. And while it's bringing you depression, you start looking for ways, and you feel as though you're being suffocated because you don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. But then eventually, if you just need someone, it's like you've been underwater. Look at me talking as though I'm a coach. But it's like you've been underwater and you just need someone to just pull you out of it. So if at that time there is someone, an advocate, someone that would literally reach out to, find possible solutions to just pull you out to say, oh, hey, you don't see this light, but it's over here. I can lead you out of it. So there's the pressure, which is like first step of, mental health situations. And then it goes down to suicidal aspects. It leads down to people even feeling hurt or, thinking of hurting other people. There's been a lot of situations, especially in the western part of the world, where you'd see someone just running to schools and just shooting sporadically on kids in the at school or people at the mall. And one whole thing you see, like common sense would just not make you do this. It just had to be you thinking, I have to hurt someone and hurt myself. So we need to talk about all of these things. And mental health doesn't really mean it has to get to a point where it is really bad before you start knowing that, you definitely do need help. There are certain situations that you have to definitely see, and then you tell yourself that there's just something that I am not really happy, and that is mental health. Good morning. Good morning. Do we still have the caller? All right. Yeah, please go ahead, call us. This is a topic that honestly I really want to hear from you. So please go ahead, call us. Let's hear your take on this. And I understand that in this part of the country, especially, or in this part of the world, Nigeria, we do not really assent to talking about this, but we need to, because if we don't, and if we don't give room to discuss certain situations, then this it would definitely come out and be a pandemic for us. We definitely have to find solutions to try to reduce this stigma, create awareness to know that these things happen and how we can possibly help ourselves and our loved ones in this situation. I mean, Fatima, talking about mental health situation, it's really heartbreaking that we actually, ignore these things. Okay, we have another caller. Good morning. Good morning. Are you with us? Okay, I think we lost that call. Please go ahead, call us. Let's hear your take on this particular situation. So, I mean, mental health issues are more common than you think. It is said that in 1 of 5 adults, somebody this is in the United States, of course. Yeah. Somebody has mental health issues and or illness. So based on all of these things, it is okay, like we said, not to feel okay sometimes. I mean, I watched a movie that says it's okay not to be okay. But one of the things that Africans are known for is being strong and resilient, especially Nigerians. Nigerians can crack joke in the midst of, a dire situation.
They use their situations to actually make it funny.
Yeah, I think that is something that has helped. Creativity. Yeah, that has helped, in some kind of way.
Yeah, because, people can actually relate to originality. Yeah. When things are original, you don't just, think about something and just put it out there. When you use reality, things that happen in real life, people actually, connect to that because you're actually touching or talking to someone with the same situation. So you asked me, mental health is actually vital for everyone. There are a lot of things that actually makes your mental health to deteriorate or, for you to feel like anger is one of it. Feeling guilty about certain things can also take a toll on your mental health. And when you're angry about something, your whole day is gone, possibly. Okay, we have a caller.
Possibly. Good morning. Yeah, good morning. Are you with us? Please turn down the volume of your TV.
Okay.
Yeah, what's your name and location? Please, we can hear ourselves through your phone, and you're not really saying anything. So please, can you tone down the volume of your TV set and talk to us? All right, I think we have to let this person go.
Okay, you can call us back.
You're causing traffic while other people are trying to reach us. Please, while you're calling us, stay away from your TV. If you want to hear your voice, I have good news for you. You can follow us on YouTube, Trust TV News, and then you get a live, update. You can go and rewatch yourself talking to us. Better solution, right? So, but then now let's take advantage of the fact that there's a given platform where you can call in and share your take about situation that, we need to create awareness on, which is mental health. So do you know your mental health? Do you know the mental health status of your loved ones around you? Because this is something that we do not know.
No, it's not just about you.
You can be in the room, Fatima, you can be in the same house with someone, not knowing that that person is in a dilemma. That person is losing themselves. And because the person just comes and mingle with you people and laugh, you wouldn't really know. And if you don't know, you can't help the person. And then before you know it, we've seen how a lot of people have found themselves, doing drugs, which is something that could cause more chaos. But because they want to try run away from their problem, it leads them to something else. So these are things that we really need to know. You could be in the same house with your own family member and not know that they really need help.
And, people
how would you know that?
Yes, and people need to understand when we say mental health, we're not saying you're mad. We're not saying you're going gaga or something. Of course. We're talking about the stability of your mental well-being. Like how calm are you? Are you always angry? Are you feeling guilty about certain things you've done to people? So these are the things that we're talking about.
Emotion persistent, basically. Good morning. I don't really know what is happening.
I think there's network issues.
Indeed, but please, we just
but you can as well drop messages for us on WhatsApp.
Indeed,
via the numbers that is shown on your screen. Hello, good morning. Are you still with us?
And while you're sending message, please do not forget to include your name and location on this matter. So, I mean, if emotions, we always say that it is always okay to not feel okay. But then where the problem lies, Fatima, is when
you don't
persists. Yes, it persists. That feeling keeps nagging you over and over, and before you know it, it deprives you of joy, and it starts affecting your mind.
So good morning.
Hello.
Yeah, good morning. Your name and location.
Good morning. I come from Taraba State.
Your name, please.
Adawa.
Oh, it's good to have you from Taraba.
State.
Okay, from Taraba.
So go ahead. What is your mental health status?
My mental health status is not good because with the state of the country, because of the nature of the country, everybody has mental issues. Like yesterday, imagine as a graduate, you went to polytechnic, went to university, went to master degree. They deceive and tell you that education is the key to success in the country. After you have stressed your parents are with money on you, you have labored so hard to achieve this level, there's no work to private school, that's to pay 15,000 as a master degree holder. You come back, you begin to go mad. Everybody's crazy. Like me, for example, I'm a transporter. Yesterday, somebody flagged me down that I should pick her to a particular location. And I told the person 500 naira. And the woman told me she have only 200 naira. I told her, man, the money is not enough. She just flamed up. She was just shouting at me, do I know how to get 200 naira in this country now? Do I think things are difficult? Do I know how to make the money to get 200 naira? Everybody is mentally ill. It's an issue that if the government did not try to work on this, Nigeria is a time bomb that will soon explode. Seriously, it's a time bomb that will soon explode. Because the youth, they deceive the youth that education is the foundation of everything. And now the youth, education has failed, and that's everybody is going to Yahoo.
Indeed. Thank you so much for your take on that one and even the examples. I mean, while he was even talking, before he even reached, explaining, it just popped into my mind that one of the things that could really trigger and lead to some kind of mental health is when you keep having the same sad feelings, and before you know it, you get frustrated, people get angry for no reason, and you meet people, and a situation that should just be a normal situation, it just keeps triggering you to just pour in. You just want to scream somewhere, and you start screaming at people that do not even deserve it at all. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, your name and location.
Okay. My name is Chidema. I'm calling from Ido.
Chidema, thank you so much for joining us. I'm happy that everyone is calling actually these days. Yeah.
So go ahead with your take.
Okay, I really appreciate this topic because it's very, very important to talk about this in Nigeria. Presently, the country is in a mess, and it's really affecting people generally. People don't actually know they are actually talking off point because it starts in a gradual process. Let me give for an instance. In a working parastatal, you are favored. People like you because how you dish out your work. And people around you are not happy. They plot against you to take you out of that position. It's not like they are not doing their own functions well, but there are different levels of grace. Let me put it that way. But these things they do to you, they negatively affect one. And you see that type of people, they are now aggressive. Now, in other settings, let me say, people receive lesser amount of money, like salary. They can no longer feed their family. This negatively affects them. If you talk to them, they respond like you have previous beef. Gradually, it is deteriorating to madness. Let me put it in that manner. So I would advise if health practitioners can dish out help, talking to people, having aid or seminars or anything that can help out in order to help out in the society at large. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Chidema.
Amazing, discussion there. And even given possible solutions. Now, one of the things I have to just put out there is the fact that sometimes, even if there are lots of advocates, which we've seen a lot of people doing volunteering job, reaching out to primary schools, secondary schools, to talk about all of this situation, which is the mental health issues and advocacy. There is still some people that are in a place that you don't really know, and there are people that even when you know, you don't even know how to help them. So if they are not ready to come out, you cannot really help them. So that falls on the parents and the family of the people to also do their own
we have some WhatsApp messages that we're going to look into, but then so let's take this from Rabiu Abdul Ankanjiba from Katsina State. He said mental health affects how we think, feel and act. It also affects our everyday life, such as work, relationships and study. Looking after our social and emotional well-being is as important as keeping our body healthy. When we were feeling emotionally, many of us will experience a mental health crisis in our lives, but we don't stay in crisis. We will move beyond the crisis into a period of healing and then another healthy period when we've recovered. Healthy, we can be fully present with our family, friends, and the community. I totally agree with you.
Thank you so much, Uncle Jiba, as usual, for that message.
Hello.
Yeah, good morning.
Hello, good morning. How are you?
Fine, thank you. Your name and location?
My name is Shehu Mamman from Katsina State.
Okay. Thank you for joining us from Fatima. Go ahead.
I'm speaking about mental health, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
But the situation now in Nigeria, you will find that 80% of Nigerians now, they are mentally retarded. And 10% are the average class. The other 10% are the first class, or rather they can afford everything.
Yeah.
Because you will find a person now, he woke up in his house without knowing what he is doing, what he will eat for that very day. So I think government has to do something about it. Because a lot, I said a lot, they cannot afford to work again. So there was that mode of thinking, continue thinking. They will make a lot of people to lose their own memory, or you'll find that someone in the street, he is moving and he is talking a lot. So, in fact, it's not easy.
Indeed.
It's not easy.
But do you know your own mental health status though? Do you get angry easily? Are you calm all the time?
I have to be calm, because how shouldn't I be calm? Because if you didn't become, you cannot reason positively that on what you are going to do. You need to think of it. But people now, they are highly mentally retarded, honestly.
Yeah. It's
not
really
as an individual.
It's really disheartening. Thank you so much for calling us from Katsina to share your take. Honestly, at the end of the day, even though the economy has its own impact and all of that, but let's not forget it's a worldwide pandemic at this point. There's a decline and there's a recession. Economies everywhere are just in a shaky point. So right now that we know that problem is there, how can we move past that? How can we train our brain to at least accommodate something? How can we know when to turn and seek for help? I mean, the people tend to do different things. There are some people that sometimes they speak out their mind as often to their loved ones, and then people be like, you talk too much. But that is a therapy on its own. That helps people just pour out their own emotions. And,
thank you for actually saying that, because Have you been in a situation where certain things happen to you and it's so overwhelming that you don't get to say anything, but then there are certain times that you just get to be aggressive and you keep venting, and then there are certain times that you just go quiet, you don't even say anything. These are actually different signs of mental struggle, yeah, because it depends on how overwhelming whatever it is hits you. So imagine losing a loved one, and you are so close to that loved one, it's going to take a toll on you. I remember, certain situation like that has happened to me when I lost my dad. It took me 7 years to actually come to terms with the fact that my dad is gone. So that was a mental stage, struggle for me, because we didn't know it was a mental, situation
because there was no awareness.
Exactly, as of then,
I keep saying. In Nigeria, we are taught to. You even say women are supposed to be. Come on, you're a strong Nigerian woman.
Yeah,
you're a strong man.
When you say you're tired, they'll tell you, I'm surprised you're saying that you're a woman. So as a woman, I'm human. Forget the fact that I'm a woman. I'm a human being. I have bones. I have blood rushing through my veins. So if I say I'm tired, I'm actually tired. And people were like, I'm surprised you're saying you're tired. Why can't I be tired? Is it only men that should be tired?
I mean, it's the same thing over. It's just the society. Just like sometimes the women are not really they're not doing justice to the men. It's the same thing the men also. I mean, just like you said, a man would tell you you're a woman, you should not be tired. I mean, what do you really do? That kind of thing. And then also the women give the men the whole thing of saying, you are a man, you should be strong. A man would be crying and you hit his chest and say, no, you are a man, be strong. I'm like, what does that mean? If he doesn't cry it out, then something would definitely happen to his brain.
It would get to him. But then there's a saying that, they said men actually cry in the night when everywhere is quiet. You don't always get in the morning. Nobody but it's actually okay for you to cry. You are human. It doesn't really matter. There are times that you can break down. When you get to think of what you're going to eat, or your family are not eating, or your parents are actually paying your school fees, and now things are hard. And as a young person, you're thinking of how I can help my family. What can I do to help my family? What can I do to pay my school fees? It takes a toll on your mental health. Yeah. So because you're thinking too much, you feel guilty about certain things that your parents are doing for you and you're not doing for them. So let's take a look at this message before we pick any other call. He said, this is from IE from Lafia. He said 5 bowls of Scotch bonnet is 200 naira.
I got confused.
And 5 pieces of tomato, which is atargu, by the way, for those that don't know the bonnet Scotch. And then he said 5 pieces of tomatoes goes for 500 naira, and you expect us to be mentally healthy? No more than 1,000 Nigerians are mentally healthy. These are the president and all the governors and legislators and very few judges.
Oh wow! Okay, from the 1,000, it's only the government.
So among the 1,000 people that are mentally healthy, the governors and the legislators. You shouldn't be laughing, but you're making us laugh. But it's funny, actually.
Good morning. All right, I think you lost that call. Please go ahead, call us back. Let's hear your take on all of that. Now, I mean,
it's actually causing.
Honestly, I think with everything that is happening, of course, just the economy is one thing that is crazy for people. Do we have a caller?
Hello?
Oh, good morning.
Hello?
Yeah, good morning. Your name and location?
This is Mr. Israel calling from Benue State.
Oh, it's good to have you. What is your take about today's topic?
This topic this morning is very interesting. Highly interested, and I am happy to have this kind of topic being discussed on air. The issue of mental although by the grace of God, my own is normal to some extent, just because I called God in. But when you look at the situation with Nigeria these days, I think I am happy that you bring this kind of topic, and I pray that our leaders will listen to this kind of topic and to know the crying of the people of Nigeria. I drive on the road and I see how people approach driving and riding of motorcycles these days. You will know that people are not in their mental
right frame of mind.
A good mental state, yes. At times I'm afraid. When you look at the way people behave, at times when you approach somebody with an issue that should not bring a problem between you and the person, you see somebody getting angry at you and you'll be amazed at what is happening. So, previously I used to be, I used to blame those people who get angry easily, but at a point, the Spirit of God starts talking to my mind. I say, this problem is not their fault. That you will not expect somebody who is being hungry for 3 days now to respond to you in a normal way. And you don't even expect somebody who is a family of 3 or 4. And he doesn't even know what these children will eat in the next 3 to 4 days to be happy with you. So when you look at this situation generally, you see our leaders need to do the needful so that at least this thing will not lead to so many things. And another one again is the issue of drug. Is this our youth involved in drug, abuse of drugs, and that also caused that mental disorderliness.
Yeah.
At times you sit with our youth, you think they are with you, and someone is already off.
Yeah.
You try to discuss an issue of common interest, and someone is not with you as a result of what is on the way.
Indeed.
So I pray that in as much as we are calling on the government to assist, we should also do the needful as an individual person to help the situation.
You just said it all. Thank you so much for that amazing analogy. Please, can we take a pause on the call? Let's even dissect what this person, the last caller, said, making mention of, we also doing our own part. There was something I learned a long time ago, which is to be each other's frustration box. It's not every time that you meet people on the road and these people just get triggered unnecessarily. You, that you're in a better place mentally, know that that thing did not warrant the reaction the person is giving. Perhaps that person really needs to just throw out frustration. And I understand you say, but it's not in my place to do it. But as a citizen of Nigeria, as a human being, it's also your place to also give your quota to the community. So one thing you just do, if a person is lashing out, just allow the person to be that person frustration box, because you don't know the life that you're saving. And away from that one, he also mentioned, the kids these days, the young
drug
kids,
abuse.
if you should sit down with anybody that is really deep into drug, they will tell you there's a problem being lined up that has made them start drugs in the first place. And that has actually continued. And guess what? Even after starting the drug, it's not changing. The problem isn't going there. Instead, it's also messing more with their mental health, and they cannot make good out of themselves. One typical example is what is happening with JAM, with examination, the UME, that people are going into school. People would finish, and then you see somebody seeing his mate or her mate in school after 4 years, and that person is still at home. Things like this tend to mess up with the younger generation.
Have you seen a message yesterday? I think I bumped into a story of a young girl who killed herself because, a lecturer actually threatened or said she's never going to pass his paper.
I think I saw that one.
Yeah, so it continued, and then she kept failing, and then she, the thought of paying school fees every year just to write that exams, and then she'll continue to fail, putting pressure on her family, and then her mates are done. And the story says that she actually is looking up to, serving, going for NYC and all, and then she just felt, okay, if she's never going to pass that course, then she's not going to, get to go for that service and all. So it's really affected her, that it made her to commit suicide. So these are the kind of things that we are talking about.
We saw,
when
I think, a secondary school girl too. Also, there was a period of time where JAM,
a lot of years back,
she also killed herself because she didn't make it.
Years ago, also there's a student that also killed herself, in Zaria. I remember that a couple of, I think, 3, 4, 5 years ago.
There was something I want to also bring up quickly. The whole banning of people from other university like the Benin Republic and all of that. Have the government thought of those children?
And what they are feeling and what
their
they are
state
thinking.
of mind is at this point.
It could actually make them go into different things.
If
It's either drug abuse or they can become robbers. They can do anything just to survive.
Someone went to school and you're saying, it's a stop on that particular thing. I feel like if there was something they wanted to do, it should be that they would say, at least from this year, nobody should bring results like this. But then the other ones that are already done, there are people that are done that's waiting for NYSC, and then the whole decision of the government.
For the people that have graduated, some of them takes 3 years, 4 years, they have not gone for service because they are yet to be called on.
So all of these things is leading kids to
so many things, and then the out of school. When you find children willing to go to school, when you find them in certain situations, you feel their parents are not able to pay school fees, give them a little time. Don't send them away. It's going to affect the family, it's going to affect the children also. It doesn't matter what class of school they belong, either primary or secondary or high school. It doesn't really matter. Just allow people to the situation already.
Indeed. So I mean, talking about the situation, we have just been talking our own talk, and of course we gave you an audience to also share your thoughts. But then we'll take a break, and when we come back, we have an expert on mental health issues and trauma and how to navigate your way through this situation.